Welcome to the threesome, y'all. This is the podcast where the three of us try to talk about at least three topics each week. The three of us, of course, are our point person and optimistic realist. She is known as Star.
Sweetheart of the internet.
Did you
Aw,
know it?
Merry Christmas, ho ho ho, and all that good shit.
Oh, she had to swallow.
Nah, it went out.
Humbug.
What'd you
No,
say,
Likely
no
humbug?
fun
story.
activities. No fun activities during the show.
I was trying to get head during the show if we would have recorded on time, but whatever.
That ought to have been interesting.
The center of our
That's what I was
threesome
thinking.
and our supposed voice of reason, he is known as Magic.
Haters wanna hate, lovers wanna love. I don't really want none of the above.
And bringing up the rear, as usual, I identify as the pragmatic contrarian, and I am known as Storm. So, how's everybody's week going thus far?
I'm better than last week.
I hate everybody.
Damn, bye humbug to you too.
You
Word.
hate everybody every week, so why is...
Nah.
But anyway.
Why do we hate everyone this week?
He hates everyone every week.
I do not hate everyone every week. I'm a
Let's hear
lover.
it.
Well, then what happened this week that you hate everyone?
Yeah, what happened?
Cruel world. It's cruel world. Let's get on with the show. It's fucking
Well,
11:30 at
yeah,
night.
with the show. We're doing welfare checks.
My mental health is good.
Okay.
The rest of you motherfuckers, I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, what's so funny?
You.
Oh. So, I got to talking with a friend of mine, well, who I considered a friend.
Uh-oh.
Past tense. Uh-oh.
Well, I still consider a friend, but we're having a conversation because his girlfriend, I don't know, his girlfriend, for whatever reason, and I run into this a lot with my male friends, where their girlfriends are suspicious of me for whatever reason. I'm like,
Join the
I've known,
club.
I've known this dude for 25 years.
Join
If
the
I
club.
if I wanted him, I'd have gone at him a long time ago. Like, what are you doing? But whatever. Like, women, think about this. Like, think about it. If your man has had a friend for that long, I mean, either she sucks, she's playing a really, really long game, or she just really don't want your man, because they would have gotten together at some point.
Well, that's not always true because there might have been circumstances in which they couldn't have come together before. It depends
No.
on the situation. But I feel you being that person with a lot of male friends and the majority of their significant others having issues with me. I get it. And I agree.
Yeah.
Um
Like, yeah, I don't want your man. Like, for real. But anyway, so we were talking about that situation and how she's given him grief because, we talk. And I'm like, if we were going to date, we would have dated, long time ago. To which he hit me with, yeah, we went on that one date and, we had fun, but,
no
nothing came of
sparks.
it.
Mhm.
To which I was like, huh? We never went on a date.
Maybe y'all went out and he thought it was a date.
And that's where I'm getting to. Like,
Okay.
what constitutes a date. Is this something that people need to mutually agree on before they go into it? Or can you be on a date with someone and not realize you're on a date? Because I thought we were just hanging out.
To begin with, I'm usually against gender equality, but that shit works both ways. I don't really hang with dudes, and 90% of my female friends, current boyfriend, husband, whatever, hates my motherfucking guts. Ah, well.
Damn.
Damn.
But as far as dating, I guess that would be under intent, which usually doesn't match between the two parties in the beginning.
Mm,
I
that's it.
mean, I
Yeah.
feel like if I'm on a date, I should know I'm on a date. You know what I mean? Like, it should be clear that I am on a date or something. I don't know. Like, how the fuck do we both look at this same event so incredibly differently?
Because y'all really believe guys want to hang out with you because you're just cool.
I am cool, for the record.
Self esteem is a wonderful thing. I'm just saying.
But, I mean, a lot of guys like hanging out with me.
It's the old Chris Rock bit. Like, yeah, I have chicks that I'm friends with, but all of them were ones I was trying to fuck at some point in time and just ended up stuck in the friend zone.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Okay,
I
take it
believe
from a
that for a
person
lot
with a
of
dick.
guys.
I mean, some of them, sure, but not everybody. Like,
I
that's
mean,
not.
gay dudes exist, but okay.
No. I mean, no. Like, I had a friend in college. I won't call his name, but I was not his type. Like, he had a type, and I was not it. And, so we hung out a lot. And, people were like, "Is that your?" I'm like, "No, we just hang out." But he never, like, I don't think it was ever his intention to sleep with me because I was just not his type.
For the 5 men that listen to this, how many times have you fucked a not your type? It's a wonderful thing
No.
to believe that men are better fucking human beings than we are. We're really fucking not.
Okay, well, I mean,
It's all the fucking proximity game. We could sit around and go, okay, I might not get this now, but if I hang around long enough, something will pop off. It's pathetic.
okay, well, how do you know when you're on a date? Okay, let's start there. Like, what constitutes a date? What's the difference between we're just hanging out and we're on a date?
If it has already been clearly established you ain't getting none, and then half the time that's a lie, so what are we to do?
Okay, but if I don't feel like there's anything to establish,
Always assume that any man that is talking to you, if he just fucking holds the door open for you randomly at 7-Eleven, the first thing
mm,
on his mind is fucking. If it doesn't pan out, some people will adjust, but it's the way it
wow.
goes.
Mm, and I thought that I was a cynic, but wow, I bow down.
Wow.
Not
About
not like that. But
And that's why you
yeah,
in the friend zone. Nah.
apparently, perpetually. But
I feel you.
no,
I'm that guy.
I yeah, I don't know. I just don't believe that. I think that I feel like, well, that's not true either. I was going to say, I feel like I would know it if someone was trying to get with me, but that's not true because I am blissfully ignorant half the time of those things. But this dude, I am stunned that he thought we were on a date
mm,
because, because it just was not a date in my estimation. I
mm,
mean, it wasn't like, no, to me, it wasn't a date.
mm.
Ladies, if you really think a guy is your buddy, offer him some pussy over the phone. Don't do it in person. And watch how quickly your friend is like, yeah, I'm in.
Oh no. No, I don't know.
It's
No,
because
that
you
that
don't believe that shit yourself.
no, because I just think, gross. Like,
You don't have to do it. I'm just saying offer and watch how many of your friends ain't really your friend.
oh my god, like that would be like offering it to a sibling. Gross. Don't do that. Yeah,
It's a
just
whole category over every fucking porn site. It's a whole
ugh,
nother subject of you fucking weirdos.
What?
exactly.
Sibling porn?
Yes,
Yeah.
and yes, gross.
Ew.
Yeah, and stepchildren and
Oh, okay,
all kinds of
okay. I get it.
ridiculousness.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Yeah. But anyway, so what constitutes a date for you, um, Star? Like, how do you know you're on a date if it's not clearly spelled out?
I mean, I don't know that it would necessarily have to be clearly spelled out. I believe that if it's going to be a date, then some signal of interest or intent will have been sent before we go and, do this. I mean,
And
there's a difference between, you know, hey, let's go hang out, or hey, let's go to the flea market, or hey, let's go to the movies, and, I would like to take you to dinner. That sounds
and
like a date.
and that's what I'm saying, because with us it was hey, you want to walk over to so and so's party with me? Sure. So we went to the party, and then after the party I think we went and grabbed a bite to eat, and then we, you know, hung out, a couple of other places, but it was not a date to me. That was just us hanging out.
Who paid for the food?
I don't recall, honestly. I don't
Hmm.
recall. You know how long ago this was? This is like over almost 3 decades ago. I don't recall.
Yeah.
Eh,
Well,
that's a
I mean,
factor.
And at the time, we were college students, so the chances are that we just
I
scraped
don't
up what
give
we
a
had.
silly grin.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I never regarded it as a date. We had a great time, but I never regarded it as a date.
I mean, I have a friend who at one point I liked him, and we hung out one time to go to this event, and then we had dinner afterwards, and I guess that can gray area, that there's like a gray area in there where that could be have considered to been a date, but there was no intent established at that point. Like I was seeing somebody else, and the only reason why I was with him was because my boyfriend wasn't available. But um in his
Hussy.
mind, well, no, my boyfriend actually was the one that brought it up. He was like, "Hey, ask your boy." I'm like, "Oh." But I went on here because I didn't want to go by myself, and my grandmother wouldn't have let me go by myself. But anywho,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I remember him bringing it up years later, and was like, "Yeah, we had a date. We dated. We went on a date one time." I'm like, "We did?"
Exactly.
Well,
Like
I
where was
mean, in hindsight, I don't know. I wouldn't have called it a date, but I guess for him it was something else.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, listeners, y'all, make it clear before
Yes,
you go,
establish intent.
Yeah, you
please.
have to establish intent, but again, there's a lot that can be. Well, I mean, I guess assuming will get you in trouble too, but there's a lot that can be read from the way that a person asks. Let's go hang out is let's go hang out, not, you know, Let me buy you
Exactly.
some flowers and take you to dinner or whatever. That's a
Exactly.
date.
Exactly. Like it wasn't even,
And
hey,
in
you want to,
fact, if somebody said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if somebody has said, yeah, you want to go get something to eat or whatever, and I say, yeah, and then the next thing you know, they're buying me flowers or doing like some sort of romantic gesture. I'm the one that'll be like, hey, what is this? Are we on a date?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like there was no romantic gesture. It wasn't even, hey, you want to go to this party with me? It was um you want to walk over there with me? You walk with me.
Oh, well, yeah,
So
that wasn't a date. He's
so
tripping.
we
And
so
maybe
we
he doesn't
went.
remember it like you remember it.
Yeah, so we went, and then afterwards, he might have been like, "Hey, you want to, I'm hungry. You want to go get something to eat?" And I was like, "Sure." I mean, I walked with him. I was with him already. I wasn't gonna let him go get something to eat by himself. So we went to get something to eat, and then we went to the arcade, and then we went back to the dorms. So it never really registered for me that it was any kind of a date.
I
It
mean,
was
I
just
guess when you're young, that's considered kind of a date, but whatever. I don't know. I don't
Does
know.
intent really matter?
I mean, yeah, because like if I call one of my single male friends and be like, and I'm like, hey, let's go hang out at the movies, but I'm, expecting something else. I've already put it out there that there's this, that there's nothing, that it's just going to be a friendly, we going to hang out at the movies and that's it. So,
absolutely. Before the pandemic, I have a male friend who is married. He lives around the corner from you, Star.
yeah.
And that was our thing. Like when there was a new movie out, we would go to the movies. It wasn't a date. It was just,
And
hey,
you
the new
wonder why his
movie is
wife
out.
don't like you?
Oh no, she loves me.
Nah, his wife
His
likes
wife
her.
loves me.
Mm, it's a
But
setup.
whatever. Yeah, but I mean, we would go to the movie all the time, and neither one of us ever was like, "Oh, we're going on a date." No, it,
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's really one of those things that's, the definition lies in it lies differently upon each person or with each person.
Yeah, perception.
Um, yeah, their perception.
well, I still think that's some shit that needs to be made clear.
That's why communication is a beautiful thing.
Uh, it is.
Starting to realize how much of a fucked up life I've led. For me, as I get older, it's more like, remember that one time when we used to fuck around? I'm like, no.
Damn.
Um,
So you slept with somebody. That's something that I
Uh,
don't
I would say
or
people are
several
lying on my
somebodies.
dick. I can accurately run down my body count by at least first name.
Oh, well, so you haven't forgotten people.
Nah,
I don't think
some
I've
I'd like
forgotten
to,
anybody.
but
Right, I don't think I've forgotten anybody.
I will say there are women out here lying on my dick. Hear that, babe? They lying.
Now, I will say that the Amazon tried to put a body on me one time, and I was like, no, like, like
The
absolutely not.
Amazon. Who the hell is that?
We
We go
really
through
got to
this
point
like
out
every
people.
week.
You
we,
said
we go
what?
we go through this every week. But anyway, she was trying to convince me that
No,
I had
no,
slept.
no. Who's Amazon?
One of her
I'll
friends.
tell you later, and then you'll be. We go through this every week. Uh,
It's only been twice.
okay, but anyway, yeah, she was trying to convince me that I had slept with this one dude that we know, and I was like, no, I was like, because I would remember that, like I would have remembered that, and she was so adamant that she almost had me convinced that I had forgotten. So I hit him up, and I was like, she's saying this, like, am I missing something?
That's terrible.
And he was like, no, I don't remember that. He was like, no, that never happened. I was like, thank you,
Is it
because she
cute Wendy?
who? I
Cute
don't know.
Wendy.
I don't have no idea who that is.
The cute version of Wendy.
Yes,
Send
Oh,
pictures. Oh, never mind.
but 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 yeah. So I'm like, you know, yeah. She almost convinced me that I had forgotten about something because I was like, no, that
that's
never
funny.
happened.
You know, back in the days, you be hanging out and shit look crazy, and people assume you did some shit you didn't do.
and and I'm sure that's what it because she always thinks the worst of me. Like she thinks I'm a predator. You know why she
Eh,
wait, you know
I'm
why
not
she
going to
thinks I'm
disagree.
you know why she thinks
Uh-oh.
you know why she thinks I'm a predator? Because
Why?
Predatory behavior
because she's a predator and she
takes one to
sees
know one.
and she
And she
sees that
sees it in
sees it
everyone.
in everybody. So and she's gonna listen to this and she's gonna call me and cuss me out. But she knows what she
For
is.
calling her an Amazon, maybe?
For,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
for
she
calling her a
told.
predator. She's accustomed to being called an Amazon. But for calling her a predator, she's gonna be mad. But
Hmm.
you know, whatever.
I'm willing to console her sister if she needs help.
Well,
Anyway,
I'll start calling her Stallone.
Why Stallone?
Never mind. So so
Terrible. I be missing stuff. Okay.
wasn't
it's
that
okay.
Schwarzenegger?
In Predator?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was. Okay. But Schwarzenegger is a little too close to calling her something else.
Mm.
Anyway, uh,
And if you speak the least bit of German, that's the funniest name ever.
sure. Um,
Schwarzenegger.
yeah. I can only count to like three in German. Like that's the extent. Oh, and I know the cuss words. Like that's the extent of my German,
Do you know
which
your
is sad.
colors?
No, which is
Schwartz is
sad because
black.
right, which is sad because the the first language apparently that I learned was German, but I don't remember any of it, and I find
Mm.
that to be kind of sad. Anyway, uh,
The
Aww.
internet is your friend.
Don't go blah.
well, I really don't have a use for German right now in my life. I mean, in my life, I've had a use for Espanol. I've had a use. Well, I haven't even. Well, I guess I have because Louisiana. I've had some use for Francais, but I've not had a use for German as yet. But shout out to my German babysitters from when I was younger. That apparently that is why I learned German before I learned English. But
Mm.
whatever.
Shout out to my
Anyway,
downstairs neighbors that saved me from my dumbass self and free healthcare. Yay!
and all
They
that.
saved you from free health care?
No, they
No.
saved me with free healthcare. I
Oh.
ran through a glass door. I don't know why I was home alone at 6 years old with my 8 year old
Jesus.
brother, but should be
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah. Also,
Jeez.
shout out to my cousins because I still have family that live in Germany. It's so funny. I have one cousin that lives in Germany, and she posts like all of her social media posts. Obviously, are in German, which is funny because I see them and I just be like, yeah, because I don't know what she said. But anyway,
Google Translate is the shit.
yeah, I'm not that invested.
It's free.
So, yeah, I'm not that invested. Like I said, I assume that what she's saying is true.
Can you feel the
She's
love,
also
Kazoo?
she's also younger than me, probably a smooth like 10 years younger. So well, probably even more than that, probably more like 15. So we're not even really in the same. What I mean. So whatever she's talking about is probably not something that is worth me googling. Is what I'm saying. But anyway.
We love the youth here.
I do love the
Threesome is
youth,
for the
but
kids.
I do
Pause.
love the youth, but half the time I ain't got no idea what the fuck y'all be talking about. Nor
Mm.
do I care because because that is the most critical part of it. Because when my child comes in here, starts talking to me about stuff, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then comes the explanation, and I'm like, oh, perhaps I wasn't clear. I also don't care. So you can save all of that. But anyway, so
I have an
speaking,
off-topic comment.
oh, go ahead.
Better made chocolate covered potato chips are the devil. Next.
Chocolate covered potato chips?
Yeah, I find that they cover just about anything in chocolate, and as much as you think, that's something, that why would you put chocolate on that? And strangely, it usually makes it better. And I'm not even a chocolate person, so I do like hot chocolate. Um, to I don't know what Tim's last name is. Well, yes, I do. I was gonna say I don't know
McGraw?
his last name, but his last name is Horton. To Mr. Tim Horton, y'all need to bring that white hot chocolate back that y'all had a few years back, because I don't know what y'all be thinking. But anyway, because that
Technically,
was
white
delicious.
chocolate is not chocolate.
Okay, it is. It just has, more sugar. But anyway,
Oh, yeah.
um, so speaking of dating, Star,
Yes.
you wanted to talk about being too available?
So I saw this post on Facebook and it got me to thinking about the post was about being too your availability being too open when dating. So basically, every time, they say, let's go out or whatever, and you say, yeah, I can do that or whatever. You never say, oh, I have something else to do or whatever. And some guys, as from the commentary on the post, felt like, a chick all that's always down to do whatever and never has to say, well, I'm busy on Thursday, can we do Friday or whatever the case may be, um, is a red flag to some men because it's like the woman doesn't have a life.
Just forever talking about red flags and single.
Mhm.
Should I ever happen to be single again? Text me back when I text your ass.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, see, that's just too many, too many games. Like if you don't literally have something to do, you know, why make up stuff? Like there's a couple of women on there who were like, yeah, every now and then, even if I don't have anything to do, because I know some men feel like if you're just too open, if you're too available, it's a problem. So,
Well, I have never
All you motherfuckers is lonely.
run into that because I'm actually the opposite problem for most people.
mhm.
you know, um, let's go do such and such. Uh, on game
Football is
night,
on Sunday.
right? Football's on, basketball's on. Like I got other stuff that I want to do that is probably infinitely more interesting than you. Um, like you have to
Well,
really
how do you
be
know until you get to know them?
Ding, 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 ding,
okay.
ding, ding, ding.
Again, I know in the first 15 minutes of talking to him
Yeah.
whether or not it's worth me missing out on something else I really want to do. And
Yeah.
also, um, of a certain age. So history has taught me that a good 98, 99% of y'all ain't worth me changing what I want to do to accommodate. So
Mhm.
I'm not going to do it. Um,
Okay.
also, as far as texting someone back, okay, here's my thing. People always assume that you're not texting them back because you're ignoring them or you're not texting them back because you're playing some kind of game. No, sometimes I get your text while I'm busy and
That
I read
happens.
it and I read it and I have every intention of texting you back once I'm not busy. But then sometimes I forget because
Mhm.
other stuff comes up and I forget. And
Mhm.
like try not to take it so personally. Like it's just,
Mhm.
you know, uh,
But clearly, there are schmucks that'll go, hey, ah, fuck, I can't text them back right now. It'll look like I actually like them.
I'm sure there are, but
Fuck is
that
wrong with people?
yeah, but that's not me. If I'm not busy and I get your text, I'll text you back right away. But if I'm doing something else and I get your text, sometimes I might not read it until I'm, later. Sometimes I might look at it in the moment and then say, especially if, and here's my issue with a lot of y'all, okay? And I'm sorry, I'm on a complete tangent. Y'all would rather text me than pick up the fucking phone, okay?
Yeah, I don't
So,
like that.
so
Mm,
y'all
text
are texting me,
conversations are the worst.
so y'all are texting me these, you're asking me things where there's a long drawn out answer to it. You're not texting me yes no questions, which means that I have to stop what I'm doing and write a soliloquy, and I don't have time for that in the moment. You know what I mean? So because I don't have time for it in the moment, I put it off, and then I might forget about it. But it's not personal. Some of that is on y'all because it would be easier for y'all to ask me these questions if you just dialed the fucking phone.
Mhm.
And matter of fact, I will do that sometimes. If you text me something that's going to require a long explanation, I don't feel like texting it, I will pick up the phone and call you.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is your answer because I'm not about to sit there and fool
And
with you.
text all of that.
Yeah.
Word.
So, and then y'all want to get mad. Well, if I text you, then why do you call me back? Because you're texting me bullshit. All right, sorry. Um, but yeah, I don't know this too available of which you speak.
Yeah, I don't play. I mean, I have, depending on when I meet someone, I may have a lot of free time. And then at other times, um, I might not have much time at all, which can be a bit of a problem. But I don't believe in those games. I feel like if I'm right there with the phone and you text me, there's not a problem with me texting you right back. Because there's gonna be those times that you text me and I don't see it for hours. You know what I
For
mean?
hours, right?
Yeah.
Um, and like, because if I'm working, especially if I'm on a movie set, or if you text me and like say I'm working at Shane Park, well,
Right.
yeah,
You can't even hear a notification on your
you
phone.
can't hear a notification, and then you don't. Sometimes you don't even get it. Like cell phone reception is so weird down there by the river because it's so close to Canada.
Right, that's
Um,
true. Because your phone does flip over into
yeah,
Canadian a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So if I'm at the city county building, if I'm at Ford Auditorium, if I'm on the wrong side of Cobo Hall or whatever, I might not get a text for hours.
Yeah. Also, and that's something that's going to lose you points. If you text me and I don't text you right back,
And you'll be like, "Hello,
right, or oh, so you just go ignore me,
more
huh? Yeah,
me," right?
listen. By the time I read that text, because I'm gonna read it all like you just did it, it
Yep,
was, and
yep,
it's going to annoy the shit out of me, just so you know.
yep. Hello, I hate that.
Yeah,
Hello, are you there?
right.
Um, like you're just gonna ignore me? Are you that busy? Like
I
Yep.
remember watching the Jetsons as a child, and they were video messaging back then, thinking that would be the coolest shit ever. And now you motherfuckers have the technology and want to send 50 fucking messages every 10 minutes.
Okay, and that's another thing. Don't send me a video chat if we haven't discussed this prior, because I'm not gonna
Especially on
like.
Messenger.
I'm not, especially on, because I am not answering random video chats just because you want me to do it. Like, get out of here with that.
Yeah, I'm not answering video chats in the morning, too late at night,
Yeah, I
right
feel like
after
that's.
work. It's just
I feel like
not gonna happen.
I feel like that's such hubris and invasion of my privacy. You know what I mean? Like you're just demanding, to see me because you feel like, nah, we're not doing it. Like, no, mm-mm.
I mean, if we're in a relationship, that's one thing, like
Yes, but also, you know, again, let me know that this is what we're going to do, so that I can be, appropriate.
appropriate, right? Because I don't
Yeah,
keep on clothes,
I don't
but I
keep on
Appropriate
mean,
is such a
clothes.
girl word.
but in a lot of relationships, that's a good thing. But you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna have that
Well,
discussion.
but okay, but I don't know if I open video where you're at. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Like
Neck up,
picture me.
sweet cheeks, neck up.
My point is, don't do it. Just don't do it. No unsolicited video requests. Don't do that.
But
That's
send
annoying.
all the unsolicited dick pics you want.
Sure, because I
That's
like
sexist.
entertainment. How is that sexist? I don't.
Guys seem to really like doing that kind of stuff. So
They do. Y'all seem to
Yeah,
enjoy it.
just
So
fucking up the money for those. Man. Phew. Anyway, yeah, nudes of all sorts. We're good. I'll laugh
yeah,
at your little dick.
exactly.
Aw,
I find so, and I
little
find some
dicks
of
have their
y'all,
place.
they do.
Yeah, in
But
underwear. Don't whip that shit
right,
out.
right. I like to play. Is that his thumb? I like to play that game. But anyway,
Is that his thumb?
yeah,
Oh, that's terrible.
because sometimes you can't tell.
That's bad. Although I know a dude like that, but
I'm
that's
telling
bad.
you. Sometimes you cannot tell. But anyway, yeah, two available. Yeah, I think that's just an excuse for some people, just to find fault where, you know if
There
you're
ain't
looking for
none.
fault, you're gonna find fault in just about anything. So
Yes, and if you have interest, it's okay to show it.
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. But I mean,
Don't
and
be clingy.
I also find that, especially at our seasoned age, if you're out here playing games, it's
Next.
exactly. Like you out here trying to play games that we played when we were in our 20s. Nah, I'm not doing this with you. And again,
Man up
I'm
and say
very,
it's a date, nigga.
I have to be very particular about where I put my energy. And if I see that you're playing games, oh, I don't want to pretend like I'm too interested. Well, then I just won't put my energy towards you.
And
So, I mean, play them games if you want to. What is it? Play silly games and win silly prizes.
prizes.
Yeah,
Yep.
but yeah. So two available, sure.
I just thought it was an interesting topic.
Too unavailable to get your ass left for real.
Yeah, and I've had that problem too. So
Yeah, and I was gonna say, because that's really me. Like I'm the unavailable one. So yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen anyone who's too available. I mean, But
I've
whatever.
seen people really desperate to get into a relationship, and
Oh yeah, the pick me's.
based on, yeah, history alone,
The
anybody
pick
that's
me's.
that desperate to be in a relationship, especially in a marriage, usually isn't relationship or marriage material, because they do not want
Yeah.
your ass. They just want to be kept.
Yes. Well, not even necessarily kept. They just want to be able to say
Yeah, I got somebody. Look,
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
because you know your ass is crazy and don't nobody want you.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, also, some people, you know, some people's parents have fucked them up to the point where they've told them that they really aren't shit unless they're a part of a couple.
Yeah,
And, I
you
feel
gotta grow out of that at some point.
I feel sad for those people.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard to grow out of it when, you've got most of society trying to reinforce that shit to you. It's hard to grow out of it, but
the
Mm-hmm.
greatest
I mean,
aspect of learning is unlearning and then relearning.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, well, luckily I'm a rebel, so I never gave a damn about any of that. But yeah, I told you I went to high school with a girl who, I looked at her report card once and I was like, oh my god, you're gonna get in so much trouble because it was all D's. And I was like, oh my god, this is terrible. And she was like, oh well, it doesn't matter because when I finish high school, I'm just gonna get married.
Oh wow.
And I
Mm.
was like, and she was like, and she
By
was telling me
married,
how
she
her,
meant abused.
well, I don't know, but she was telling me that this is what her mom told her. Well, she's like, oh, it doesn't make any difference if girls get good grades because, we're gonna get married when we get out of high school. And I remember just looking at her horrified, like these are things your
Answer your
mother
goals.
told you, like, like we have very different mothers. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because my mom was of the niggas ain't shit mindset.
Yeah.
That
And a
was,
little bit of too much of that can go wrong too.
well, clearly, but but I'm just saying it was just that was it was a shock to my system because I it had never occurred to me that someone's mother would advocate, you know what I mean? That it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter whether you're smart or not, just get married.
Yeah, well, that was the way things used to be. Be pretty, be able to keep a clean house and cook a good dinner
Good
and get a
start, but
husband.
broke hose is a no no.
Well, well, good people. Did we do all of our topics?
All right, we
No.
45 minutes in. We can wrap it up.
Oh, you didn't want to do the
Nah, if we do another episode this year, we'll do the flashbacks of what was memorable about this shit show of a year.
Okay. So, all right. Well, that was only actually two topics, so I mean, I'm sure we got a couple of others in there because we went on quite a few tangents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what we do over
That
here
is what we do.
at the
Yeah.
Threesome Podcast on Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram, the Threesome Pod on Twitter. Probably already know, but if you don't, pay more attention. If you like the show, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell a hoe. And if you don't, tell everybody you know. Send nudes. Lots and lots of nudes. Oh, this is coming out the Wednesday before Christ Mass. I hope all of y'all get all the shit you want, you greedy bastards. Appreciate it the next 2 weeks.
Technically, this is coming out on Yule, the solstice, which, is why you all have Christmas on December 25th, but that's a whole different talk show. Um, but anyway, so whichever holiday
I
you
might be posting a
celebrate.
log for Yule Day. Yeah, that'll be cool. Anyway,
Ho ho ho.
yeah.
Yeah. So Merry Yule and Happy
Study
Christmas.
astronomy.
Yeah.
Um, yes, not astrology.
Yeah.
Study
Cause I'm
astronomy.
sick of you fucking fake ooh, goddamn you fake astro whatever logicist goofball fucks.
You're
Yeah,
an Aries. You know what? I know you. I know you
Yeah.
already
Know
before
your
you
whole
even
fucking
talk.
story based on the day you were born.
right. I ain't even told you the year, which, by the way, it would be technically an entirely different star chart, but whatever. But anyway, just so you know, astronomy is a science, astrology is not. Quit pretending like astrology is science.
And
Science
there you go.
fiction is science? I'm
Well, science fiction can become science, like Star Trek and, your communicators and your video chats and things like that, but that's whole different.
Teleporters.
Well, we're working on it.
Good night, people.
Good night.
fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool and fuck you. I'm out.
I'm going to assume I'm the cool one. Bye bye.
Hey.